Right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we can see. Let's log into there. Let's have a look. Alright, let's see where we are. There's always a delay. Let's see. I love it, but we go. Hi Cheryl, hi Lindsay. I'm just trying to log in. I'm just trying to get my little pad up and running. If there's such a thing happening here. Oh no, that's not. No, is that not it? No, oh crumbs. It was nearly there. You know, when you're not very technical, it's one of them. I don't think I'm being very technical. Here we go. Click a button here and click a button there and try and find myself. Can't do that. Oh no, it's not liking this at all. Why can't I see myself? Oh. Technical. Hi Annette, hi Nick. Well, I'm trying to log in. It just ain't letting me on the old what's it? Let me try again. Oh, it says I'm live. There we go. There we are. Found me. Right. Hi Lindsay, hi Annette, hi Jan, hi Linda, hi Cheryl. Oh dear me. Hi. I'll get there in the end. Might help if I press the right thing, isn't it, to see everybody. Right then, so I've got my little pad up on one corner of the world. Ah dear. Well, I tell you, you can see quite all right there, to be fair. Hi Marie. Good evening, and good evening everybody. Right, so I did put quite a few different stamps on, and obviously admin kindly let me know what was available stock wise, because I don't want to showcase something and obviously, hi Kathleen, hi Ruth, hi Janine, hi Sandra. I don't want to showcase something and obviously you can't buy it. So a little bit of a change around, well, sort of ish. Hi Rosemary. So I'm going to be doing this gorgeous nuts. I'm nuts about you all, bless you. Hi Maureen. So I am going to do a little something with this. I've also picked out these now then, all for different things, but I want to sort of create some really funky journal pages. So I'm going to show you how to, you know, not everybody's got a journal, not everybody knows how to start a journal. Hi Lorraine. So I'm gonna sort of show you something very, very easy to do and quite effective as well actually. So I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. Well, not minutes, as in just a little bit longer before I start. Hi Trudy, how are you my darling? Hope you're well. Hi Helma. So yeah. So and it's all to do is, I'm sure if some of you guys have got one of these pads at home, yeah, I'm going to show you what you can do with it in regards to making yourself a journal, just to see if you want to spend money on something a little bit more expensive, because journals can be very, very expensive. So I've got loads of these lying around and I thought, why don't I convert one of these, let me turn it round, into a journal. So what I've done is I have just done some different pages in here, and I've just prepped basically. I'm going to do a bigger stamp. Yeah, no, bigger stamp. Well, always say to me what you fancy. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, I'm here to support you. Hi Carol, hope you're well, my sweetie. So obviously, if you've got lined paper, it doesn't mean to say you can't stamp on it. It's just as good as anything else. Yes, it's paper and it's flimsy and it's like, ugh. But I want to show you because, like, I've actually got something decent here, and it's, you know, it's pliable, it's movable. So let me just quickly show you what I've done to get yourself sort of, it's quite straightforward really. There's no rocket science to this. Let me move the stamps out the way and we'll go over what we're doing there in a second. I just want to show you, if you want to have a go at journaling and you haven't obviously got a journal, or you're not sort of taking the leap of faith to spend a lot of money on a journal. So that's a single page. I've got some glue, and all I'm going to do is go around the outer. Nothing fancy. Wiggle a bit in here and a bit in there and oogie boogie. And then I'm just going to put that down. And that's it, basically. 2 pages. Hi, Ali. 2 pages stuck together. And if you want to have a go at journaling, then here's a start for you. So I've popped together, obviously you can see it's a bit sort of, these have dried over the last couple of days. I've done this today, so as you can see, it doesn't take long to do anything. Hi Linda, hi Sylvia, hi Agnes, hi Kim, hi Trina. It doesn't take long to dry, depending on what paint you use. So I'm thinking, because I'm doing something with a squirrel, I thought greens and browns. So I'm hoping you can roughly see that in there. I think that's about right, really. I'll make sure you see it anyway. So, like I say, stock on the octopus and the peony flower was very, very low. So I don't want to showcase something and you can't buy it, basically. You know, because if you like what I do and you think to yourself you're, you know, intrigued and you want to do it. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Susan. Then, you know, I want to make sure you can purchase the stamps that I'm showing. So I've changed my mind. So we've gone for the squirrel. Quite like the nuts on this. And then I'm quite intrigued with this. I'm intrigued with this stamp in particular. So I wanna play around with this stamp. I like the words on this stamp. It doesn't make, if you want to read them and put them on in that, but I just wanted like a little bit of a back fall on that. So I've picked those for words. And then I've picked this one for additional foliage, if I want to move around with some different foliage. Hi Sam, hi Dawn, hi Rachel, hi Rosemary, hi Ali. Hello everybody, goodness me. So this is going to be the main focus. Now, all I've done with this was I put some acrylic paint down, because obviously it's all lined. So you could do a couple of different things. You can wreck the place as you go along. Well, why not? That's normally what I do. Let me move them up there. You can pop down a primer, just squirt it on and paint it over. You can pop down just some acrylic paint. I like the titanium white, and this I just get from wherever. So you could do that. Or you could get whatever acrylic paints that you've got, or a heavy based medium, pop it down, let it dry, and then pop on, you know, either some oxides or some elements or whatever, you know, whatever you've got, archival, whatever, and then pop yourself down as a base. Now I can still see lines on that, but you're not going to by the end of this. So this is dry, and on the other side, like I say, I've stuck 2 pieces of paper together. And if you don't want to take the leap in buying an expensive journal, this is a great way for you to start. You know, and you use whatever colours you like. You know, so I'm lucky that this has already got quite a nice inner in, but then you can put your own inner and you can do a nice fancy front page if you want, which I will do. So I am going to play, I don't know, so I'm quite tempted with this one, to be fair, but I'm going to play around with the green to start with anyway. So as I say, my main one, my little focus, hi Beverly, hi Susan, is going to be, oh, let's take him out, a little squirrel. Now, I'm going to do probably on the 2 pages, and I'm going to do some different sort of techniques of stamping as well as colouring in. So I might try sort of a very loose watercolour sort of effect, or I'm going to go quite intense. But my first protocol is to get an image down. Now on 1 page, I'm probably going to, ooh, come on matey. Wow, that's a lovely feel to that stamp. I'm terrible. It's like I just like to feel my stamps. I know it's a bit of a weird one, but you know when you have a new stamp and you've never used it and you get that lovely feel to it. I love the feel of a new stamp. I love when we've got this fabulous backing, so we can actually put it down and sort of have a look at what we've got there. And I think he's going to go really cute on there. Now whether or not I put him down with VersaFine Flare so he's permanent, or I put him down with Element or any sort of water basing, so whether that's with a Zig pen or anything like that, I want to be able to move and play around with this, just to show you how easy it is to create sort of a page. And if I've got time, I will do another page, but I'm going to build up one first of all for you. But if I get chance, I'll put some colour on here just so you can see how to actually make a page yourself, okay? So I want to sort of get a bit of an edge, so I want to get a feel for it. Even though I've got some greens and I've got sort of a bit of blue in here and a bit of brown, I want to bring I want to warm it around a little bit more. So I'm going to put our lovely squirrel over here a minute. And when I said about that 1 this one stamp here, which is this one. I'm really intrigued with this stamp, and the reason why I'm intrigued is I like to get a bit of a backing to it. So don't always think it's always about a postage mark and stuff like that. You can make up really interesting edges and backings with different stamps, which I want to show you off this one first. And we can actually put in some of these words if we want to. But the first one I want to do is I'm going to utilise this sort of textured stamp. So I'm going to pop it here so you can see which one I'm using there. And I am actually, in fact, I am gonna use it with my hands, and I am going to start with, I tell you what, I'm going to put like a brown down on this, and I'm going to use elements. If you can hear my dogs in the background, I do apologise. Hi Theo. And I'm going to use the truffle. I nearly called it Theo then. I'm going to use Theo. That would have been an interesting one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hands. So I am literally going to tap around, but I just want to play around with this texture, and I am curious. Yes, it's going to be really nice, this is, because I just want to put it down. When you actually put the paper and you glue the paper, it's never flat and it's never really nice, and it already is giving me a fabulous texture. And I actually want to be able to move this around with my fingers if I want to. So this is where I say I'm a messy crafter. I am a messy crafter, just in different sort of ways. And I want to sort of give a bit of a woodland edging. So I want to do a bit of a frame on this. Now, don't worry if it comes over or it comes around or anything like that. All I've done there is we just messed around with those elements, and that was truffle. And all I want to do now is I just want to move. Let me just pop you there a second. I am going to wipe that over in a minute, but I just want to move this around just a little bit. Let me get a brush. Now I have got a little bit of, probably a bit of oxide on that, so it's whatever's on there. And all I want to do is just, because it's not dried straight on, I just want to just blend it in just a little. Nothing major, because I want the texture there, and I want to add a little bit of water. So I'm going to use, you know, just one of these watercolour pencils. Hi Anne, hi Deborah. Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me. And what I want to do is, now you can see, I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can, I'll bring it down a little bit. Obviously we've got oxides and everything else on there, but when you're adding your water on, it's going to move the ink around, which gives it another dimension. So you can move it around, you can pull it over, you can get the sewing machine out if you wanted to and really go to town on it. You know, once you start, when you've got thicker paper for journal, I mean, you can sew this, no problem at all. I have sewed thinner, if I'm honest. I have got not an old Singer, but it's fairly old. Hi Jess, hope you're well, my sweetness. So all I want to do is just add another texture, just to sort of pull it down maybe, and just to add just another layer on that, because at the end of the day I just want to sort of, I like the way this moves. So I'm going to pop that back on. I'm actually going to put this and make this now on a block, and I actually want to put this down. I'm going to use fallen leaves actually. So this is now permanent. So let's have a look at it as a permanent. Now please, I am looking at comments, so if we do lose connection, I am trying to look, because what I have found is when I come on, oh yeah. Yep, I'm going to get really messy and dirty now. Let me just bring that up a little bit for you. When I'm on Facebook, for whatever reason, my connection can go a bit dodgy. So I am watching comments, just in case. So I'm quite liking the fact there that I've got sort of a lot more of a harsher sort of thing. Obviously, we've got this bar in the way. So if you have got it on a mount, just remember where it is, as daft as it is. It's easy to forget. It's all part of the fun. So I'm actually liking the way that that's looking, and I ain't too shy about just taking that sort of dampness off, because it's permanent ink. Once it's dry, it's dry, and if ever you're unsure, it's quite easy just to pop the heat over it. So I'm going to pop that back now, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a couple of words on, I think. Actually, no, I'll tell you what, when I look at this, I'm going to have this London one on with, I think it's the 11th of January on. And I'm going to keep it again with the same ink. So I'm going to keep it with Fallen Leaves. And all I want to do is you're just building up a bit of like, oh yeah, just a bit of a junk journal. I quite like that. So so where the block is, I hit on there. So remember, just be mindful of where you are, what you're doing. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit in the corner. I mean, you could do a couple if you wanted to. Second, third, fourth generation. Do what you like. This is your creation at the end of the day. So I'm going to put that back under there. Let's have a look what else we're going to put under. Let's see what else we got. Now, I did quite like the look of this one with the wavy lines on. So let's pop that on. And I need... Oh, there we go. Stay. I like it when they're lively. Got a bit of oomph to them. So I'm going to pop that on there. And I'm still sticking with the Fallen Leaves. I just want to give that little bit of oomph in the back. So, post service. I'm going to put that up here, just so you can see it. And then I'm going to just do a couple of wavy lines there. Let me move that out the way. Put it there. And then I'm going to put maybe just something like so. So we've really got a lot of random stuff going on. But this is like you're under your background, but you're under background. I don't know how to explain it really. You probably know what I mean. I like to put my layers on in different sort of ways. And sometimes it's just a case of little bits here and there sort of thing. Hi Steph, hope you're well. I'm going to put hello on. Everybody needs a hello. Hello's a cute one. And I'm just going to pop it just in a couple of little places, just here and there. I mean, you haven't got to put any words on, you haven't even got to put any stamps on or anything. I'm just trying to show you how you can utilise something with words, something with little splodges on, incorporating a squirrel to turn it into something really quite spectacular, really, I suppose. Now, I'm going to leave the words. That's going to be more towards the end. But I'm now going to play around. I've got my squirrel mounted. So, I'm Mr. Squirrel. I want to put him about here. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because I don't know whether he's going to go down. So, I'm actually going to put truffle on. Oh, shall I put henna on, actually? Let's go for the dark. Let's live a bit dangerously. Hi, Nicole. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to pop this on quite lightly. Nothing too major. This is where most of you have heart attack with me, because I really cover the whole stamp. And that even includes the fact that I cover the block. Let me move things because we've got light reflecting. I don't like to blind you when you don't need to. So, obviously you can see on there now I've got splodges here, there and everywhere. And what I am going to do is I'm just going to lightly spritz that. Very lightly. Let me find something with a bit of water in and a Sprite. So let me just, there we go. Just very lightly. Nothing major. Yeah, we've got a little bit, I don't know if you can see, that's a light spray of water on there. And then I can just see a little bit here and there. And again, I'm not worried. Now I want to put Mr. Squirrel roughly about there, I'm thinking. Yeah, why not? So I'm going to give that a really good, now, depending on how you are, again, I've got my dad's sanding block, but some of you have got them fancy devices and all that. Feel free, use away. And I ain't too worried if I get additional on this. Now, I quite like the fact of how that's gone, and I'm going to wipe this off, and then I want to put on, oh, see now, look at that, browns, anything with sort of that red pigment. I'm going to got to give that a good washing later, but obviously it stains. However, for this, I love the fact that we've got that sort of, we haven't got an image, but we have. So I actually want to spray it. Let me just put a little bit of water on that. So I'm just going to spray it just a little bit more, just to get it a bit lively. And bear in mind, I've got other colours on under there, so I am just really moving this image around. So this is now going to be a loose watercolour image, and then this one on this side will probably be a lot more of a plain, firm, nicer image. But yeah, we can see the difference between the two. Now I just want to get my dryer on that a minute, because we've got plenty of movement, which is what I like. In fact, let me, before I dry fully, let's move this around a bit. So again, don't be shy to sort of play around with that water and that ink. It all adds, and it's totally going now, which is what I want. Because then I'm going to have that back fold. I'm going to put on another print, just roughly in the same area. I love it when things sort of disappear and then come back again. I think it's fabulous. Now I'm just going to start moving things around now. Oh yeah. See, I told you I'm a messy crafter. I love when we sort of have this sort of really mixed movement going on. I think it's brilliant. Now, let me see if I've got a large enough plate. Well, I'm going to pop something underneath. Just underneath here, because I want to now stamp again, and I want to try and get it flat. So I've just put another board under there just to give me that little bit of extra rigidity. Now I'm going to get my VersaFine flare. Actually, shall I just do it in black so it pops? Why not? Oh, I'm being naughty. I don't normally do this, but I want you to be able to see the image. So VersaFine Claire, obviously Nocturne now. And all of you with M Complex, yes, I have done a little bit of a what's it here, not on there, but it's okay. So I'm going to roughly have a look to where I first done a print, and I'm not worried if it's not going on it, right? So, but I am wanting to make sure I get a really good press. So there we go. Let's make sure this side's down as well. Hi Diane. Crafty Shenanigans, love it. That's a funky name, I love that. Crafty Shenanigans. Right, okay. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll have muscles where I never knew I had them. Oh gosh, this is getting nervous. Let me just let me do this. So let me take him off. Let me really live dangerously now. Love it. Yes, I just want the little squirrel in. The rest of it we can just, oh yeah, I can see him now. Fab. Let me just try and get my little, let me get my nuts in. Sounds right, I know, but yeah, fabulous. Right, so if you're not comfortable freehanding, this isn't the technique for you. I will put him on here nicely printed, all sweetie, but for me, I can really just pull him along in there, and I shall really loosely paint him, probably with some zig pens and some movement. So let me, while we've got him here, so you can always put him at the side like that, so you can sort of see roughly where things are. I'm going to get just my zig pen here, and I'm just going to bring it over and down. And I'm only going to do this really rough. Because I only need to know roughly where certain bits are, to be fair. We've got a nice leaf here. And then we've got those lovely nuts here. And because it's a loose watercolour, it really isn't going to make any difference if lines aren't in the right place. So don't have a panic attack and think to yourself, oh, I've ruined it, I've ruined a page. You haven't at all. You've just created just a different depth. Honestly, there is no worries at all with it. So I know my little squirrel's under here. So I know his little face is around here, and his little eyes are going to come down here, and he's got his main eye there. Okay, dead easy. So I'm now going to put on probably some, yeah, let's start with an oxide base. So I can roughly see what's there, and like I say, because it's a loose watercolour piece, all I want to do is just bring in rough elements. Now obviously you've got a grey squirrel, you've got a red squirrel. If I wanted to do in pink, orange or green, I can do. It's one of them. This is your creation now. Now to complement with what we're putting on here and there, I'm going to add the complementary colours around here as well. So whatever colour I'm going to add into different places, I'm also going to bring in around here. So I'm not just going to blob it in one place, I'm going to sort of put it sort of in random areas as well. Now I want to just bring sort of a, I've got like a reddish brown, I think that'll be about right. So I just want to bring a little bit of reddish, yeah, sort of a reddish brown. Now what I like about the Zig pens is I've got, what's this one, light beige, and I'm going to use that to start blending out. Now as daft as it is, it's not my blending one, but it works as a blender. So if I wanted to sort of take these colours around now and blend them out, it will actually blend them out. And I can then, let me just show you on a spare bit of paper, it's not going to ruin that colour. And that's what I like about these. So we can pull these around here, we can blend just those last little bits of colours that we've put in here, and then around here with the oxides, I just want to move that around just slightly so I can see where the tail bit will come round here and round here, because I want to add more colour into that and obviously into his ears. I just want to bring that around there because his little ears are there, and then we're going to put some green in there. So there's roughly our little squirrel, bless his little cottons. So I'm now just going to add a little bit more of the red. So I suppose it's like a reddish squirrel-ish. And all I'm going to do now is move the zig. So again, I mean, this is nowhere near finished because we're going to put water on. We're going to move everything around. But I'm just showing you roughly. Let me find a nice grey. So if you wanted to put like greys on, depending on your back colour as to whether it'll work. And obviously the grey is going into that paint colour that we've already got on there. So I'm going to go more of a brownier brown, I suppose. And we've got his tail coming round like so. Let's bring him round and up. I want to take it down there. So I don't want to take it down too far, because we've got to put whites in it, we've got to highlight it. But I just want to sort of get that little bit of where everything is in place sort of thing. And I like the fact that the blend, well, these lighter colours act really well as a blender. And like I say, they're not going to ruin that colour underneath, because it goes straight back to what it is, which is light beige. It's not harming it at all. So on here, now let's have a look. Let's see if we can add. So if I wanted to put watercolour pencils, for instance, let's put a bit of that on. So these are Mondelez ones that I'm using. However, there's loads of different ones out there. Sweet Poppy have also got a fabulous set. They've got some fabulous pens as well. So again, depending on what you want to add to your collection and what your budget is, well worth a look. Let me have a lighter colour on that. And I'm very, very loose, because when I add water to this, I know the colours are going to merge and mix around really nice. And I'm not too worried, if I'm honest with you, about how it's going to look, or how, because it's going to be like a very subtle sort of back piece. So I'm just going to add a little bit of colour to where these leaves are here. And I'm not even worried about me movement, because it's a really messy, piece, to be fair. So I am going to have a look. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. I want to dry, and then I can start on this one. Then I can add back onto this one again, because obviously I want to put some white on. I want to put some highlights on. I want to put the detailing to bring the piece out. So we're using this one as a blender. Obviously I've got a blending brush, but I'm just showing you haven't got to use your blending brush. If you haven't got the blending brush of Zigs or whatever you're using, your lighter colour will actually work well as a blender. That's my blender brush. Let me put that out the way so I know. Right, then let me just put a bit of water onto this. So I am going to splash first of all. Because we've got the watercolour pencils, I just want to see how much it's going to move on this, because I've not worked on this background with anything else. I just want to see what the ink is going to do on it. So I'm not too worried at the minute, because I can pull, because we've got a bit of permanent there, I can pull it all around. Hi, Mand. Oh, we've got a mix of very loose watercolour going on. So what am I looking for? My tissue. There we go. Let's find a tissue. So I'm just going to dab off very, very lightly. I don't want to go off too lightly because I want to leave some of that colour on. But now I can see Mr. Squirrel's coming out quite nicely there now. And I can see, because I'm taking a lot of this off, but I'm still leaving a lot on there. Yeah, okay, so that's a really interesting. I'm really interested into how the layers of acrylic have actually gone onto the paper. Really is interesting. I'll definitely be using this sort of technique again. It's not everybody's, don't get me wrong, it's not everybody's technique at all. However, I like the feel of the paper, and I like the feel of what it's doing. And again, it's one of them. So I'm going to let this dry off naturally. I can see my Mr. Squirrel, and I can bring him out with colour now. I just want to, because it's paper and all I've done is stuck 2 pieces of paper together, I'm going to let it dry and then I can go back on it. But in the meantime, I can now work over here. So I know I'm just wanting this to actually print on really nicely. Now if I had one of those lovely plates and all that, I could literally, actually let me see if I can get it on, because I want to be able to give a crisp, because this is watercolour, this is going to have a lot of movement on it. I'm not too worried on that. Let me just get my, let's get this, my contraption, my pet contraption. I'm going to have to give it a name, you know. Right then, okay, let's have a look. Let me see if I can actually, let's put that in there. There we go. Right then, I'm going to say if I can actually, I suppose the word is cheat. Cheat will do, I don't mind. But I want to just see, without clonking the camera, just to give a crisp image on here. And I don't know, well, I'm sure it will, to be fair. So I want him roughly about there. So that's him on there. Yeah, I think we're going to be all right. And I'm going to, caggy-handedly, I'm going to... Oh, this is fun, isn't it? Who'd have thought I'd be doing this on a Wednesday? And I think this one through, did I? I had all sorts of visions. Well, I was starting off with an octopus. Then the octopus went into a hare, and then it went into something else, which was quite funny. So I have had a bit of a doodah day, but it's okay. I think Mr. Squirrel's going to look absolutely fabulous. So let's do him a couple of times. No, he's getting there. He's getting there. I don't mind as long as I've got enough that I can actually see and actually work with. So this just proves that when you've got really, I mean, this is just paper. This is literally like copier paper. I quite like that. So I'm just going to see. I'm going to be really cheeky and see if I can actually just give him a little bit more of a print. Let me dabble him there a minute. I'm cheating, but it's what we all do. And I think I'm going to have to take that out a minute. Put it down there. Twirl it to the side. Let me shove that down there, because all I want is just that little bit of face detail. The rest of it, I ain't too worried about. I can live with the rest of it. I'm very much a sort of, oh, that'll do. Yep, that'll do. There you go. That solved that question, didn't it? Right then, I'm happy with that now. So this just proves sometimes you have to use all your gadgets, all your bits and bobs, just to get something, you know. So when you are, what I will tell you is, what I've learnt off this, sticking 2 pieces of paper, having a go at a journal page, it does work. However, be mindful of, for one, how wet you get it, and for 2, where your warps are on the paper. And as you can see, it's still a little bit tacky. But I'm quite happy just to rub that round from my tail. So let's move things around a little bit now. He's a cutie, isn't he? And to be fair, this ain't done too bad. Right, so while this is drying, let's play around with this side. Let's move my little man out the way, because he is actually a cutie. Anyway, I hope you're all really good, and I hope you've had a fabulous day. I've had a busy day at work. It hasn't stopped, if I'm honest. And then I've been sort of thinking about sort of what I'm doing here. I get preoccupied. Terrible, aren't I? But that's the thing, as a crafter, you always sort of are thinking about bits and bobs and what you're doing and where you're at and what you're going to do or what you're not going to do. So I get carried away. I just want to put his little eye in there. Let me just get my white pen a sec. So I'm going to be using one of the uni balls. So I just want to just just want to put his little eye in just here. And I just want to put a little bit of oomph where his ear roll is. We've just got a little bit there, and then his nose. Now obviously he's going to have a darker nose, but I just want to do it so it's just for me, so I know where that is. And then the rest of it, like the squirrel mainly has like sort of this little whitish area. Well, depending on the squirrel, I suppose. Some have sort of a whitish area, some don't. And we just want to put just a little bit of highlight here. Now, as I said, it's going to be a loose watercolour piece. I do want to get that detail in just with ours. I think these nuts are brilliant. So let me just get, I am going to be using a zig pen. And I just want to just put a sort of, a gold would be nice on this, actually. You know, just to thinking about it, a gold would be lovely. On this one, what am I using? This is ochre. Oh yeah, I suppose it is a gold. Well, it is gold ochre, but you know what I mean. Oh, it's all good fun. So I'm just roughly putting where the nuts are, and then I just roughly want to add a little bit of greenery, because I now want to just bring around very loosely some additional colours now. Now, not just for the leaves. Hi Sally. So I'm going to use, I'm back on this light beige. And I'm just moving around the colours that I've just put down, because I've got some of that colour on my brush. I'm leaving that white till the end. And I ain't too worried about what I'm doing around there, because I now want to start adding. Let's move these out the way. Let's move that out the way. I want to add some leaves. So I want to go on to this one. This one's still drying. I haven't forgot about that one yet. Let me put that there out the way. So, I mean, so this looks very much like a nice tree. I think this would work quite well, actually. So I'm probably going to do first, second, third generation on these, depending how it goes down on the paper. So I am going to, that's more or less, yeah, that's dry. So I'm just going to put that on there. Sorry about the light bouncing off it. But I'm now going to just put around. So I'm just going to literally make sure the leaves are coloured. I'm not too worried about the stalks or anything, because all I'm going to do is just build up just sort of that montage of some foliage going around. So I am going to grab me a block like so, and I'm going to put some peeled paint on now. So I am going onto an oxide, which will then end up onto something else. So I want to just see roughly where this is going. So I can see it's only hit here and there, but all I want is an idea of leaves. So at the minute I'm not too worried. In fact, I could even go quite heavy. Yeah. Actually, that's quite nice, actually. Yeah, I want to go quite heavy there. And then I'm going to get VersaFine Clair, I think, on that. So I'm just going to build up around here. That's quite wood. I mean, hey, yeah, there's a lot of things I could think about now, because you could put some like branches coming up. You could put some really heavy leaves coming through. But let me just put these on. Let me get, oh, I want to go darker than that. I was going to go Shady Lane. However, I'm thinking rainforest for this as a start point. Hi, Karen. So let me just tap on. And again, I ain't worried if things overlap or move or do things that they're not supposed to do, because while it's still wet, I'm going to move it around anyway. And then I'm going to then play it around even more. So let me just put that down there. I quite like that. I'm going to do a little bit of a print there. Yep, let me take it off my nuts. There we go. And then I want to just, let me just give a little bit of a cover over here. Let's just pop them there. Oh, I tell you what, I'll tell you, it's just easy if I do it this way, isn't it? Yeah, perfect. So yes, it's going to look messy. However, when I've put my backing colour down and put my water and then moved it around, it should look quite effective. So don't ever think when you're creating stuff that, you know, you've ruined it or God, it looks a mess. I am not a clean crafter. A lot of you that have been following me for a bit will realise I am very messy. But that's me. That's how I work. I love getting myself filthy because I feel at one with the piece. So I do like to touch, feel, move, manipulate. I just want to put a little bit of additional texture into this. So let me just get a stencil a second. Oh, crumbs. Aye. I'm going to just grab the first one. Oh, that's quite an interesting one. Otherwise, I could be here scatting around forever. Let me just put that down. So, I'm just going to get a dark green. Let me get... I'll tell you what. Let me see. What dark green have I got? What's this one? Olive on the elements before I wreck the place. So, same brush. And I just want to just start pulling in that bit there, I think. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Yeah. Now, don't think, oh, crumbs, what on earth is it going on to be? It actually, there's such an effect. I love the different effects you get when you start adding a little bit of stencil work in. I just want to bring that up to there because I want it to look like it's blended into, which... When you've got that versifying clear ink and it's still wet, it moves around really nicely. And I just want to just start putting a little bit of something around here. That's what I want there. And again, you can put whatever you want down, whether it's stencil work, whatever. But at least you can see, working with something that's not very expensive, and this is really cheap. A4, I don't know, binder, folder, whatever, pad, refill pad maybe, I don't know, whatever it was. Yeah, it worked. So I'm not too worried really. So all I'm just doing now is just adding a little bit of background, and I want to start pulling him together now. So I want some more leaves in here. Let me look. Right, where's my little squirrel gone? I want some of his leaves in there now with these nuts. So I literally want one of those. Right, okay, so this is going to be, this could go terribly wrong. Well, it could go as all sorts really. I'm not too worried. Yeah, I've got a leaf. That'll do for me. Let's just, so it depends how confident you are to do this. I just go with it. Because if it don't turn out, I've got plenty of products that hide things. So, you know, let's play the game. Yep, I like that. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move that into there. It's another backing colour going into that. So if you had some sort of texture with like fabrics and stuff like that, you could actually sew them into this. And that could be something I might look to do and add that into this, because I think that'd look really nice with some nice sewing down and some stitching down here would look really lovely. Right, I'm just going to blast this off a minute. Let's put that over there, let's put that over there. And I'm quickly just going to pop something on here. So let's have a look. Let's get some browns out. So, Mr. Squirrel. So I'm just, all I'm doing is just flicking up very, very lightly. We've got that bit of white there as well. I just want to bring that over on that tail bit, just so you can see him there. Hopefully we're still there. Yeah, catch you later. And all I want to do around here is I just want to put a bit of highlight of colour around here. around here, and around here. Now all I'm going to do is, well actually you could use, again you could use your highlighting pen. If you're comfortable, you could literally merge all of this in. You can take all of the dark brown in. So this is like a really dirty process, to be fair, because it looks messy, it's sort of dirty, but I like the end products on these. When you're pulling them all together and then you see that, let me just take the colour off there, when you see like the end product and it's like, oh wow, okay, so it totally changes the look. I need to put a darker nose on him here. Just want to take that lighter bit of ear up on here. Don't be shy to move around what you're doing, basically. Let me just wipe that bit off there on the paper. And then I can start playing around with the other one while this is going through its drying process. So, what I want to do now is I'm thinking, let me get a nice gold. Let's have a look what we got. Okay, so I've got a gold Posca. Got a bit of white. Now you can use Gansy Tambis if you want to. Again, it's up to you. It's depending on what you want to do with the piece. So all I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to do my usual truck and just get a lot of water on it, because that's what I like. And then while this is going through its drying process, I can then start on this one, which is, although it's got little bits of splatters here and there, it ain't too bad actually. So let me have a look what this is doing. I'm just going to put that there because I want to make sure it's charged. Yeah, I think we've got something happening with that. Fabulous. And I want to do that while I've still got a bit of movement going on. Yep, okay. Gold first. So gold Posca. Again, if you haven't got certain gold pens, paints, Posca's just as good as anything else. And I wanted the gold in to go with the browns of piece. So it's, all it is just about moving the colours on the page really. So a nice brown Posca would go well with this, to be fair, which I have got, but I haven't taken him out. So just when this is drying, just around here, we can just bring out all that with some proper little highlights and proper little bits just to pop that out. So I'm going to let that dry. Let me move these out the way. Let me just give a little bit of a slight, let me get a bit of tissue and just dab off a little bit. I don't want to dab off too much because I want the colours to do what they need to do. I'm quite liking the way the colours, I like the way that's blended. It looks really messy, really splodged out. I really like it. That's just me. Some of you might be looking at it and thinking, whoa, crumbs. But like, again, we're all different, and that's what I love. So I'm going to do a sort of more traditional squirrel now. Here's our little mate, bless him. He's dried off lovely. So I might try and bring some of this into that. And it's light, nothing major. Right, so on this one I'm going to try and just bring in, oh, let me move things around, let's see where he is, let's put that there. Okay, so on here you could just straight colour him if you wanted to. So more of a reddy brown. Again, you can, I'm gonna do this with the watercolour pencil, but I'm just giving you ideas. So let me just, now the colouring of this hasn't, because I'm going to, this is a watercolour pencil and I'm going to move it around in a second. Let me just put a darker colour in this. Let's have a look. Red, yay. Brown, let's put that on. Just going to bring this around a little bit, so I'm just going to add that darker bit just to bring his tail up. And again, you could do the squirrel pink if you wanted to. You could do him green. You could do him whatever colour you want. You know, but if you're following a traditional, if you're doing a traditional piece, I'd suggest you get a reference picture, you know, and really like look at it, pull out all the little bits that you need to. I haven't got a reference piece because, like I say, this changed very, very quickly for me earlier, so apologies. But sometimes that's, you know, it's one of them, and that's what sort of keeps you on your toes, you know, at the end of the day. No wrong with a bit of variety. So this is a strange looking octopus under the sea. However, it didn't turn out that way. And that's just because, stock-wise, like I say, it's pointless me showing you something. If you did want to purchase it, you are unable to do so. So it's all about making sure I give you the best opportunity as possible if that's what you wanted to do. So let me just go over that like so. Let me just do a little bit of a, tell you what, we'll have this more of a green. They're not quite ready. Depends on the time of year, doesn't it, really? So he's doing quite well, actually. Let me just get, right, so I've got the Artist Sketch Pen Zigs. These are really good. I'm actually very impressed. I've ordered a few things from Sweet Poppy, and I must say delivery was very prompt, very helpful. You know, can't fault it at all, if I'm honest. Fabulous service. But these are definitely, I think I got these in the sale, if I'm honest. But I'd recommend, even if they're not in sale, I'd definitely recommend purchasing. Very good. Right, so I've just done his little eyeball. Let me just start to just pull little bits on this little one, because then I can highlight. Now the page is still a little damp, and that's where mindfulness and thinking to yourself, do you really need to do that before you wreck your pens? No, I don't. And again, you can look and add little bits of depth and little bits of shading, little bits of shadowing. I mean, you can go on and on and on and on with this. So again, it's depending on the style of what you're doing. Some of you guys are very particular, you know, very pristine on where everything is, and I love that. I'm not one of those people. I'm a very, very messy crafter, as you can tell from today. But I love doing funky backgrounds. So our little red squirrel is definitely red, this one is. So I'm just going to just flick this out just a little. And I think if I put a little bit of a water base on the background, it'll go quite well, actually. And again, it depends how comfortable and confident you are when you're using water on paper. And bear in mind, this is just bog standard paper. You know, it's not even printer paper. Printer paper's thicker than this. This is like, goodness me. This is a very, yeah, a very cheap bit of paper that I found, but it's doing what I need it to do. That's the main thing. Hi Joe, hi Lisa, hi Wendy, hi Catherine. We've got some different things going on today. I like doing different though. It's better than sometimes you have to sort of change things and mix things up a bit. Challenges you even more then. Right then, so let's put something in here. So I've still got a bit of colour off my acorns, basically, and I'm just transferring them over. Now, you think of leaves to be green. Again, they could be orange, could be absolutely any colour. You do browns. Now, if you're going traditional, you know, which some of you guys want to go traditional, that's fine. But others might not want to go that way and want to go more sort of petite, maybe impacts on it. I don't know. It's one of them. Do what you like, really. They're your designs. Now then, let me find my pen. There it is. Right, I just want to pop a little bit of white in his eye there. And I just want to pop a little bit of a white highlight on there. And I'm just going to just give him a little bit of a highlight on his ears. And just around here. Now, it would be good if, let me just see if I've got a bit of white about. Is there a bit of white on there that's a bit loose? Yes, I might have just got away with that. Let me just Let me see. Right then, let's have a look. Let me get my pen. It's just because this is a very, very loose piece, so I don't want to overdo it too much. And then on this one, I've got to watch I don't put too much water on it. So I've got one way and one another way, so I've got to be very careful either way. Challenging. That's all I'll say. It's challenging. Let's pop a bit of lightness to his ears. Fabulous. Pop it around there. Fab. Okay, okay. There he's coming on. Right, and then this little beastie, it's a bit like this little piggy, went to market. Right then, so I want some highlights on the nuts themselves now. So, like I say, because this is like really heavy, I want some yellow on that actually. Really heavy watercolour. That's better. Just want to pull these colours around just a little bit more, and then when it dries down properly, I can then bring it out with a nice black pen to pop those little bit of back area. And on this one, I actually want to just, let me just see what we've got. Oh crumbs, that's just dropped down there. There we go. Found you, little devil. It's trying to escape. Right, I'm going to put some of these lovely verses on there, so I just want to start to bring them through, and I might do a couple on here as well. If I had a flower, true friends, best friends, art is the nature of nature is the art of God. Why am I reading back to front? Roots of a family. Oh, that's nice. Again, you go with whatever suits you, whatever suits the mood that you're in, whatever verses that you need to put on for people. Depends on what you're doing. If it's just something for a bit of fun, I'm doing something for a bit of fun. I'm just putting something together. Again, it really does depend on what you're wanting the piece to be. I'm just going to get a bit of elements, and I just want to just put this on here a minute. Yes, that's a very very light. I want to put that in here. Let me wipe that off. Oh. And what I want to do is, in fact, I'll tell you what, where's me brown? Where's me brown? Yellow, green, blue. Is that me brown? That's what it's going to be brown now. What we got here? Let's have a look. Yellow, green. Yep, that's going to be brown now. So I just want to just put on. I just want to bring that through there. So if you go over it while it's still wet, you're going to take away, or you're going to sort of blemish it down into the colour of whatever it is that you're putting on. So all I want to do now is, because I always use water on my work, I'm doing it now so that when I do start building up this area, it's going to look fabulous. Right, now then. I want to just bring in here now. Let me find, hold on. Let's have a look in one of my boxes. Let me find. Okay, let me just I'll grab that stamp out of there. Right, so I am just getting like an edging stamp. And all I'm doing is, I ain't too worried if it goes on there either. It's a bit like a crackle. And all I'm doing here is just putting it around the edges. Now if you've got like a nice gold, that would also look quite nice on this as well. Again, it just depends on the design and the taste of what you're doing, to how you're building up that piece. So I'm now going to put on, I'm just going to put some on the back of here. Right, so let me put that over there. Let me put that over there. I've got to obviously give these a damn good wash, which I'm not doing now because I ain't got time to do them, but I'll do them later. There we go. Move them out of the way so I can see what I am doing. Right, because this is still wet, if you want to blend this in now, you can do that. And I don't want to take away too much of that effect. And I'm quite liking that sort of bridge there. So I now want... oh, let's have a look. I've got my little leaf stamp again. So, I tell you what, let me get... Where's my plate gone? Okie dokie, let's pop that on there. Now I want to just build up, very similar to this one, where I just want to sort of build up some leaves, but I want them coming from different angles. And I'm going to see whether or not I can get them on with Versifying Clay, and if they're actually going to stay and do what I want them to do. So I'm going to have to put a little bit of force on. Yeah, that's coming on. And again, this is wet, so I can still move this. Let me just put it on so you can see what I'm doing. So I can still move this around. So if I want to move it up, because it's like a journal page, it's not going to make any difference. So if you wanted to take those all the way around, you can do. If you want to put it in like different colours, golds and things like that, you can do. Let's put that. Let me bring this down so you can see what I'm doing. I've just got pens everywhere. I need a bigger craft room. I need to take over another room, I think. You know, when you start crafting, you start thinking, oh, that room, that'll be enough space. And then before you know it, you've took over another room. And then it's another room, and so on and so forth. Absolute craziness. So we've got a lot of sort of leafy, which I quite like actually. Let's just put a few here and a few there. Right, now then, because I am getting close, I'm going to have to take it off that and go with the will. Oh dear me, this is where it can get sort of, let's just go with it, whatever not. I like it when we have randoms. It's never going to look how it needs to. Hi Lainey, hope you're well, sweetie. Right, okay. So I like Mr. Squirrel, like he's peeking out now. Right, so let's get some colour in. And let's actually build up that backing for Mr. Squirrel. So I want to put some greens into that now. Maybe some yellows, maybe some lighter colours. This is still wet, so it's going to move. So I'm going to start with a bit of Twisted Citron. Now I am mindful of time, so I'm just going to start moving this around. So I'm not too worried if that darker brown starts to move and the leaves sort of move around. Again, it's a journal page. It's just giving you ideas, because I am going to add fabric and stuff onto this. I really am thinking it's going to go well. And don't worry about your pad, it cleans off. You know, so don't think you're ruining your pad. No, you're not. Okay. I like the way he's coming on. Just need a bit more greens in with regards to these leaves. So I am going to use... Let's have a look what we've got. So I've got a couple of watercolour pencils. Totally different colours. And I'm going to just... flick through, because I'm going to move it with water. The more I do, the more I realise just how much water is a part of what I do. And like I say, I am not a clean crafter at all. I really do move inks around so much. So I mean, I've used that many different mediums in this. And again, we're all different. Your version of this will look totally different to obviously my version. And that's what I love when people are crafting. Just the difference that we all give each other, and the confidence to try different things, different techniques. We're all learning every day, and that's what I love. I need to start popping some browns into him now, because he looks like he's drying nicely. So his little face will be around here. And I love that. That white's gone totally dried, totally different. And again, the feeling of this piece, it's a shame you can't touch this because I like the feel of this. I am very much, this has got so much texture to it. It's absolutely fabulous. Right, brown, let me just bring, so this has gone very reddy brown, obviously for the colours that we used. So I'm just going to bring those acorns, it's a little bit darker on there now, and I'm just going to darken his shoulder, darken that side. Just remember your light and dark contrasts. So he's quite cute now. Right then, let me get some. So this has had some gold paint splatters on there. This I want to be more, let me just grab. So I am going to put on this one, I'm going to use some of the Cure Tape Dropper Shimmer, the gold. If you haven't got this, Posca, what else can you use? You could use a Posca pen, you could use the Ganzi Tambis. I just want to bring that into it. And you could also use, where's, let me just think, hold on, I tell you could also use like different paints and stuff like that, to be fair. Let me just, hold on a second, let's have a dabble. So you've got quite a nice bronze. I haven't used this for a long time, but I mean, we could just put a blob just here and there. And again, see, I mean, that totally changes. Like I said, I did say I'm a messy creator. But now I'm looking at this and how that's changing with that shimmer on it. Let me just put a little bit around here. You know, so that looks absolutely fab. Sorry, I'm just going off on a proper little tangent here. However, that's what art is all about. So I've just built that into there. Oh, I quite like that now. Anyway, let's get back on with my droplets. So all I've done there was put on a bit of De La Rowney Cruella bronze, which is fabulous, to be fair. Let me just try and show you the page on that. So that bronze has got a lovely, like a proper deep shimmer. You're not going to see it with these lights, but it brings the page up really nice. So let me just, I'll give that a shake. Let me get my normal water splodges out for starters. I cannot finish my page off without my water splodges. When this one's dry, I will obviously, which will probably be about an hour or so properly. I'm not going to rush it and damage it now, but I want to show you properly how it just pulls everything together, just to bring out Mr. Squirrel, which will be fabulous. Let me just put a little bit more water splodges on him, because then if anything crosses over paint wise, at least it's going to blend nicely. So I am just going to use what's in the lid, if I'm honest with you, hopefully. Oh, let's have a, this could get very messy. Right, oh, that's gone nice. That's gone very nice on. So that bronze and the gold has gone on absolutely gorgeous. Let me put that there. Right, now I want, let me get me, I'm going to get some white on this one. If bless its little cotton socks and all the rest of it, if I can find my little bit of squidgely paint. Where's my little bit of paper gone? There. Let me just charge that up. Okay, let's see if that's going to work. Doesn't sound very light. Oh, that's a nice splodge. I like that. So if I'm doing sort of really loose work, I like it to sort of have a very loose look. We've got two sort of different style squirrels. This one definitely needs a darker, but I've got to just wait, like I say, for it to dry properly, because all I'm going to do is pull the paper off, because it's only just bog standard paper. Let me just dab off a little bit here and there, especially around our little man, because then, oh yes, the texture on this, so it's different when you're sort of looking and thinking. When you're working on something, you have a very clean piece of card. When you're doing your journals and stuff like that, it's all textural. Depending on your journal, I like textural, I like to be able to touch. I might even add, like I say, fabric, sewing, run some lines up here, which I think would be lovely to add that other bit of texture in. But yeah, I think that'll go really well. Let me just blast this over a little bit, just so I can try and show you where we're at, basically. Yeah, I really like the way that copper and that gold's gone on gorgeous. Perfect. So once this is dry, I will reline everything to bring it out nicely, same as this one, and just add those last little highlights on it. But this gives you an idea of how you can put together a journal without spending a lot of money on a journal book, basically. You know, to see if that's what you want to do. Not everybody will go straight onto a page. People will like to do a card and stick it in. Nothing wrong with that at all. I like to be very free and easy. If I make mistakes, then I'll adapt that mistake, but from that mistake I'll then add something else which will give it a different texture, a different context. The feel of this one I love the feel of it. I like the way that I can feel the different mediums that I've used on the page. This one, again, it's got a nice feel to it. Now we've put that bit of gold, that bronze on, so it's, again, the paint has got a different feel to it. But this, again, I'll allow it to dry properly so I can bring out the highlights and pull out, because it is only paper. Bear in mind, all we've done is stuck a couple of pieces together. So I'm hoping that's given you sort of ideas to have a go. For one, having a journal, you know, if you've just got a little writing pad or just a pad that you want to have a go at before you spend money. You know, journals can go up from £30–40 and upwards just for a book. You know, and that's could even be sort of A5-ish sort of size onwards. But for you then to put, you know, to put into that, the quality of the paper is so much different than just this. You know, this is just writing paper. I mean, again, we could even, you know, scrunch this off and have a totally different, I mean, okay, you know, some of that would actually work. So for me now, oh, there you go. Now look at that. It's actually done it the world of good, even if I say so myself. So that now has given both of these a total different look. Don't be shy to actually experiment either, you know. So I actually like the fact that these look totally different now. Framed, done, sorted. But when you've got, you know, you've got your stamps, don't be shy to sort of, let me move my rubbish out of the way. Don't be shy to look at your different stamps and use them in different ways. You know, your sentiment, yes, your sentiments go down. However, put them in different places, you know, and don't be shy to pull off different bits and put them down in different places. Use stencils in different ways, maybe. Hi, Marion. No, it's all right. No worries, sweetie. But yeah, I mean, there's loads of beautiful stamps out there. And I'm hoping, I mean, like I say, this isn't everybody's cup of tea. For what I've done today, it's no problem at all. But I'm hoping it's inspired you to look at your stamps in a different way. And maybe look at putting different things together. From, you know, a beautiful little squirrel into a chaotic... I mean, now I've scrunched up the page. Let me just pull it out a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. Hold on. Oh, let's put that there a second. So now when you look at that, it's all scrunched up. But the difference that now looks, you know, from that depth and that movement in that. And same as this one, to be fair, you know, don't be shy to even, you know, move. I mean, to be fair, that isn't even, that paper's quite tough now. They've stuck both of them together, you know, so don't be shy to sort of play around with things and have a go, because we've got a lot of different texture here. We've got a lot of different movement, and it's a different way to use your stamps. Have a bit of fun with them. I'm filthy, but I've thoroughly enjoyed showing you these different techniques. So I'm hoping it inspires you to have a go. I'm hoping it inspires you to get yourself an old A4 pad of lined paper and maybe turn it into a journal. Maybe have a go at putting a bit of a background down. Just get your paints on, acrylics. Cover it, use your hands, move the paint around, and then let it dry and print onto it. You know, there's the back of that one. I've already got texture on it. You know, I mean, I could put flowers on it. My octopus was going there, however he's not now. You know, and then again, different stuff. You know, put some different colours down on different pages. See what you feel is you. All right, so thank you ever so much for joining me. Probably not what you was expecting, but again, just a different option, different ways to use your stamps, a different ways to use your ink. You know, instead of it all sitting on the shelf looking at you, put it on, move it. You know, don't be shy to get a pad and drag it down. You know, play around with it, add water, scrunch it up, have fun. Yeah, so there you go. So thank you all very much. I'm going to give you love. Hopefully I've inspired you. I look forward to seeing what you post in there anyway, that's for sure. Even if it's not the squirrel, it could be the giraffe, it could be the kingfisher, it could be the raven, it could be absolutely anything. Show me what you create. Let me see what you do with your makeshift journals. Anyway, have a great evening, afternoon or morning, depending on where you are. Thank you ever so much for joining me, and I shall see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.